my heart just turned into a theme park of happiness.
The following contest is a Falls Count Anywhere match.
Oh, this can't be good.
What are you talking about? This is awesome.
Yeah, for who?
And from Detroit, Michigan, weighing in at 328 pounds, Kevin Nash.
You know, Big Sexy completely changed the landscape of sports entertainment when he left Monday Night Raw and headed over to WCW. Big Sexy, the NWO, one of the most intimidating groups, one of the most controversial, yet one of the greatest groups of all time, led by this man. Had a unique relationship with WWE Hall of Famer Shawn Michaels over the years. Can you imagine what the NWO would do to Byron?
That's not a funny thought.
Hey, Kev, he's over here.
No.
I'm getting out of here.
He's inflicting some serious pain here.
And we're ready to get this Falls Count Anywhere match underway.
Matches like this rarely end inside the ring, which is what makes them so unpredictable.
Oh, I think this man means he goes for the cover.
Heavy-duty right hand. Xavier Woods really feeling the heat now. He looks incredibly motivated, though. Don't expect him to be down for long.
Well, he's clearly not used to competing in a match like this, and it's starting to show.
I'm sitting here utterly flabbergasted that the official didn't see that. I just can't believe it.
He's inflicting some serious pain here. I like what I'm seeing here from Kevin Nash.
Man, oh man, when a superstar gets leveled with the honor roll from Woods, they're reminded very quickly that New Day rocks.
That'll have you worrying about long-term injuries for sure. Xavier Woods finds himself in some trouble. This very well may be too much for him to handle.
Yeah, I'm sure he saw things going differently for him here tonight, but that clearly Woods will put his opponent away.
So many bad things can happen outside the ring, and given his condition right now, he really needs to keep it inside the ring if he wants to win this thing.
Yeah, this is hard to watch now. I mean, he is taking quite a beating in there.
One move after the other. It's devastating. What an offensive show by Kevin Nash.
Not sure where he gets his energy, but it is a sight to behold.
And Kevin Nash is just toying with his opponent now.
Look at him.
Kevin, ridiculous maneuver by Kevin Nash.
Woods looks to be in some serious trouble here. Things just went from bad to worse for Xavier Woods. You know, I'd say the Falls Count Anywhere match was popularized back in the Attitude Era, but before that, I remember Pat Patterson and Sergeant Slaughter's famous 1981 alley fight, which many consider to be the precursor to Falls Count Anywhere.
What does Xavier Woods have in store?
What impact from Boston Woods.
Woods might just be on his way to victory.
He's going for the pin. As Byron mentioned, the Pat Patterson-Sergeant Slaughter alley fight had many of the elements of a Falls Count Anywhere match. Most notably, I'd say, was the heavy weapon usage.
Yeah, that match had everything from cowboy boots to brass knuckles.
He could pin his opponent right here.
It's over.
And he kicks out.
Not yet.
Xavier Woods with a nice reversal.
Guys, the most important thing for a superstar to remember in a Falls Count Anywhere match is
Kevin Nash, this is gonna be big.
jackknife. That's what he was looking for, Michael.
Shoulders on the mat.
Unbelievable. This singles match is over.
The Falls Count Anywhere matches never disappoint, but this one might go down in the annals of the WWE as one of the best ever.
Here is your winner, Kevin.
Oh, yeah. Uh-oh, this is the confrontation we've all been waiting for.
Not where he wants to be right now.
Hey, he got himself into this mess.
He's got to get himself out of it now.
This is what makes him one of the best in the business. And I think this man means business.
Here's his moment, Michael.
Kevin Nash is looking for the decisive end.
Jackknife. Woods looks to be in some serious trouble here. Things just went from bad to worse for Xavier Woods.
Batten down the hatches. Here comes the monster among men.
The following contest is a steel cage match. Making his way to the ring, weighing in at 385 pounds, Braun Strowman.
The earth is trembling with each step. Strowman's an absolute force of nature. Terrifyingly powerful.
Yeah, you start to feel like there's nothing Braun Strowman can't do.
Well, there is one thing we know for a fact, Braun.
Here comes the world's largest athlete.
And standing 7 feet tall,
For some time now, Corey, a long list of big men have entered WWE to take Big Show's place and put him out to pasture.
Yeah, and right at the top of that list is the monster among men, Braun Strowman. When these two behemoths square off, their combined weight nearly tops 800 pounds. That's a lot of pressure for a ring to support. For generations, the steel cage match has been considered one of the most ruthless matches of all time.
You make a good point, Corey, about the pressure the ring goes under when Big Show is in there with another giant like Braun Strowman. The stretch to hold their capacity is nearly impossible and a recipe for destruction.
And we've seen that destruction several times. Off of a suplex, the two exploded the ring right off its bearings. But no one, including the monster among men, has been able to send Big Show off to that proverbial pasture.
He's
He's inflicting some serious pain here.
Big knee.
Braun Strowman is a force within the ring.
Flattens him with a clothesline. Drop kick. Beautiful.
What can Big Show do now to get the ball rolling again? And at this point, how much more does he have to give?
He better be careful. If he's not, things can very easily go from bad to worse for him inside that cage.
Guys, I wasn't anticipating this type of performance from him tonight. He's starting to look a little lost in there right now.
Oh, and the reversal by Big Show. And a punishing shoulder tackle.
The steel cage is a massive enclosure that stands 15 feet in height. For almost 35 years, a select group of high flyers have taken their aerial assaults to greater heights. And when I say that, I mean superstars climb to the top of the steel cage, the real high-rent district, and dive off onto their...
Wait a minute. Schoolboy. What's coming next? A back suplex. To your point earlier, Byron, we've definitely seen some unbelievable attacks be launched from the top of the steel cage. And you mentioned the most iconic, the steel cage match for the Intercontinental Championship that saw Jimmy Superfly Snuka clash against bitter rival, the magnificent Morocco.
There's no denying that Superfly set the bar. You look over the years to people like Jeff and Matt Hardy, Eddie Guerrero, Kurt Angle, and Chris Jericho. They continue.
Braun Strowman is getting ready here.
Slamming into the mat.
Looks like this show's over, guys. Things just went from bad to worse for the Big Show.
Poor Giant.
Big Show just barely got out of the way there. The best way to describe combatants clashing inside a steel cage is its battle of attrition. Sometimes a superstar is left with no choice but to fight fire with fire and do whatever they need to do in order to win the match.
And here's the monster. Oh, hellacious power slam. Let's check this out again, Corey.
So effective, Cole.
Check out Braun Strowman's offense.
Byron, you touched on this earlier, but it's so important for a superstar to accept that there's nowhere to run and nowhere to hide in a steel cage match. That the conflict will be resolved within the 15-foot-high steel walls that surround the ring. And that losing a cage match can mean much more than a mark in the loss column. For some, it has meant the end of their career.
It's difficult to describe the damage that can be done to a superstar who competes in a steel cage match. We see the physical harm, but we don't see the psychological effects from being inside the cage. Make no mistake about it, Michael. The steel cage truly represents survival of the fittest.
Of course, we all recognize Braun Strowman as a legitimate main eventer, but remember, guys, it wasn't that long ago that he was considered the black sheep of the Wyatt family.
What's coming next? Taking their time.
This is a level of destruction no one was expecting.
As Byron was saying, Braun Strowman absolutely took orders from Bray Wyatt at one point. But that all changed following the 2016 WWE Draft, when Strowman broke out on his own and proved that he was indeed a monster among men. And he did that, Cole, by defeating 2, 3, sometimes even 4 superstars at the same time. Man, Big
Big Show is able to get out of the way there.
Deceptively fast.
Just a painful attack on the midsection. You don't expect an athlete to hit his physical peak 20 years into his career, but the Big Show returned in amazing shape when he dropped 70 pounds in 2017.
And somehow a sub-4.
Strowman. This is not going to be good at all.
Oh, my gosh, from what heights?
Wow, I'm just as surprised as you guys are. Corey, what scares me is a faster Big Show. The world's largest athlete chasing you is a nightmare scenario. But imagine if he could actually catch up. Ooh, yikes.
Even if he's cut a lot of weight, the Big Show's still the world's largest athlete, but he's now put the emphasis on athlete. Be afraid.
He's looking a little wobbly here, guys.
Michael, his legs look like they're about to give out on him.
Undervalued and underappreciated is how I describe Big Show's relationship with the WWE Universe. 20-plus years should get you more fanfare in this industry.
He's got him covered. Perhaps looking to end it with that. His shoulders are down. Insane German suplex. I need to disagree with you, Corey. Your observation of Big Show going underappreciated has no credence when, in fact, he does have a wide fan base.
Yeah, and many of those fans are children who marvel at the massive size of the world's largest athlete.
He's always had the ability to take it up a notch.
And he delivers a knee.
The WWE Universe has seen the evolution of the steel cage in the enclosure known today as Hell in a Cell. The first time an enclosed cage was seen was in October of 1983 in the last Battle of Atlanta. The enclosed cage was seen a few years later in the War Games match from the NWA. There were even cages stacked on top of...
Look out, Braun Strowman is measuring.
Oh, hellacious power slam.
Wow, let's see that again.
Man, he is simply a walking highlight reel.
Byron, we talk about the progression of steel cage matches and the type of structures that have been spawned from them. I need to point out that some cages have been electrified. One was made from bamboo in the form of a Punjabi prison match. And, of course, the elimination chamber with glass pods and steel doors.
And today we have the Asylum match, where weapons are on top of the cage. Just goes to show you that times may change, but the objective to destroy an opponent remains the same. There's still no better way to settle a score than to do battle with your adversary inside a steel cage. According to historians, the twisted metal that we see as part of steel cages today dates back 80 years. To settle a dispute between competitors Jack Bloomfield and Count Pietro Rossi,
Big Show setting up.
warm up the bus. This one is over.
He's making a statement here with this attack.
Corey, you gave us an impressive history of the origins of the steel cage match.
The monster among men picks his opponent up.
Oh, Braun Strowman slamming into the mat.
Just when you thought he had nothing left.
That'll knock you silly, that's for sure. Oh, hellacious power slam.
Oh, he got him.
Let's look at this again.
Before 2017's Extreme Rules, there were just 3 previous tag team matches where championship gold was decided inside a steel cage in the history of WWE special events. The Hardy Boys were in 2 of those matches. At Extreme Rules, in order to win the match, both members of a team had to exit the cage and have both feet on the floor.
The Hardys used their famous continuity to gain the early advantage until Cesaro and Sheamus utilized their devastating power to slow the pace of the match down. Both teams battled atop the steel cage, but in the end, Sheamus and Cesaro won the race to the arena floor to become new Raw Tag Team Champions.
The Big Show is always a favorite to win the Royal Rumble, but he's never punched his WrestleMania ticket there after 12 appearances. It's the strangest thing.
I just love steel cage matches. I've called many of Big Show's Royal Rumble matches, Byron, and he's truly a force. He's eliminated over 30 competitors total, but always ends up a target due to his size.
I think he's still hung up on his first Rumble. In 2000, The Rock's feet hit the floor before Big Show, but the People's Champion was declared the winner. What an injustice.